Story behind Geneva Kaye. Geneva's my first name, and Kaye, first part of my second name, Kaylin. And Kaye is also my grandmother's middle name. I've always known I was a music artist. However, it wasn't until just a few years ago that I finally accepted and embraced that I was created to be a music artist. The type of music I create, well, lyrically, I'm a conscious writer. Pretty much all of my lyrics are written with intent. And musically, when I'm producing, I'm always drawn to 808s, a beautiful chord progression, a catchy chord progression, and I love just adding dynamics to the music. I love a lot going on. Detail. I love a lot of detail. There wasn't exactly a who, but what inspired me, definitely just the years that I spent in survival mode, but kept quiet most of the time just for the sake of peace and for the sake of surviving. So those years definitely inspired a lot of my lyrics, especially on this first album, this first project. The first instrument I learned to play was the bassoon in 7th grade. I was the only bassoonist in the band, but I loved every minute of it, and I miss the bassoon actually. I can still play, but I miss it. My favorite songs to cover are Love Will Stand When All Else Falls and Colored Women from the Broadway musical Memphis. I would most like to collaborate with Sade, CeCe Winans, and Lauryn Hill. There are a number of challenges, but I think the biggest challenge that I run into as an independent artist is just feeling overwhelmed, feelings of being overwhelmed with so many options, because there are a lot of options as an independent artist. There are several paths to success, but in my case, creating my own path is very, very overwhelming. My knowledge of music theory played a big role in me learning how to produce, and it plays a big role in songwriting even. So once I finally learned music theory and sat down and practiced and understood it a little bit better, my production skills went up by a long shot. The saddest song that I have ever heard is definitely Gangsta Lean by DRS. I create music for the listener, really, whether they're a fan or not. Someone can take away something from my music, so it's for the listener. I will say that I write for myself sometimes because hard times are guaranteed to us and they're promised to us. So when those hard times come along, I do sometimes write to provide therapy for myself and to put me back together when those hard times kind of break me apart. I would love to learn how to play any type of guitar. Any and every guitar known to man, I wish I could play. And I'm a bit intimidated by it, and the piano has had so much of my attention, learning to play the piano, but I would love to learn how to play any guitar. The first concert I ever attended was Fred Hammond. It was a Fred Hammond concert with my mom, and I remember being in awe the entire time. And I was looking at everything, the musicians, the facial expressions of the musicians, the background singers, the lights, everything. I loved everything about it. So my plans for the coming months, I plan on releasing my debut album, Buried Thoughts, and just doing everything that comes with releasing something. And I plan on kind of organizing my thoughts because, again, it is overwhelming as an independent artist. And I'm like independent as in doing everything myself. And revisit some of my goals as an independent artist because they do change. It's a lot of trial and error. So just revisiting some of those goals and modifying my definition of success. I have plenty of regrets. I think the biggest regret I have right now is being disobedient the first time I had braces, which has caused me to have braces now a second time. So that's a regret, but I do have several regrets, but I try not to dwell on them too much because who needs the premature wrinkles? Well, I'm an impatient perfectionist. Being a perfectionist leads to procrastination a lot of times, and my impatience works against my need for everything to be perfect. So it's a bad combination. I want to hurry up and finish things, but I need them to be perfect. So if I were a little more patient and maybe less of a perfectionist, then I feel like I could move a little bit quicker. So I didn't really learn how to sing. No one really taught me. I just kind of discovered that I could sing. I used to sing at home all the time when no one was there. And I used to sing for fun, just with friends. And even my friends would kind of say, well, I know you're just kidding, but you can sing. So the best piece of advice that I've received as an independent artist is to really maximize the use of what is available to me. Because obviously at this level, there's a lot that is not available to me. There's a lot that I don't have access to and a lot of resources that I don't have. But I've really learned how to use what is available to me. So that's the best piece of advice. If I didn't get that advice, I'd probably still be sitting talking about what I don't have. Success for me at this level anyways is being able to create full time, just having more time to create, but obviously it's a balancing act right now, with the day job and things like that. So success for me, like within the next year even, would just be being able to create full time.